Joining us today, we have Dr. Joe Gillespie. He is the owner of the Dental Implant Center right here in Mount Pleasant. I'm so excited today because A, you're looking sharp as all get out.
Good
but
morning.
Other than that, we're going to talk about you. This is like a getting to know Dr. Joe. All right, so first off, let's just get a little background on you and where you come from and kind of how this all started.
Yes, wonderful. Hey, Ashley.
I'm excited. All
I'm
right, let's
excited
go.
to be here too. We started the Dental Implant Center in Mount Pleasant almost 20 years ago. Been able to help people of the Low Country with their smiles, from individual little missing teeth all the way to entire complete makeovers. You can go all the way to Hollywood. Some folks want to do that with us. The lightest, brightest, beautiful smile they can get. Other folks have that sort of give me a natural, believable, I want it to blend, maybe even be age appropriate. So every day in the office we get to kind of waltz in and change people's lives, and that's the most fun part of what I do in my job.
Okay, so let's talk about how you got into this line of work. We talked about this a while ago. Let's hear that. Tell them that story.
Oh, the funny aspect of that is sort of born into dental royalty, if you could call it that. My father has 2 international patents in implants, and when I was studying to get into dental school, he was studying patents law as a retired dentist. And the next thing we knew, international patents were granted for 2 different implant designs. I started working in an office, in a dental office, in my 17th year, and his patents were on the wall. His partners were working in that office, and I was hooked the moment we started seeing how happy we could make patients.
How cool is that, though?
Pretty neat stuff.
I mean, is that kind of hard to do in this industry when it comes to patents and things like that?
Patents are very difficult. I once walked through one of the largest dental meetings in the U.S. and the country with my father, and a much larger friend of mine in dental school with me, he could be a South Carolina lineman, was on one side of my father and I was on the other side of my father, and it was interesting to see the industry leaders around there kind of pointing and whispering and saying, oh, that's Dr. Eddie Gillespie. And if we were his bouncers, I was way undersized compared to my friend sitting next to me. They would have probably gone after Dad from my side because I didn't have the bill to be a bouncer, but I did have happily the fingers and the hands to be a dentist. So very happy with that decision. And it's been a joy here in Mount Pleasant for near 20 years. And we just waltz in the office and look forward to what's on the schedule, and if it's a single tooth we replace, somebody who has to do this because they're hiding a front tooth that's had an injury, a fall, or even just maybe genetically that tooth got a cavity or broke in some way, we're able to fix that in a single day and turn things around and immediately make them happy, smile with confidence again. And then the folks that sort of have a 55 and up retirement situation, one thing that dentistry's not done the best job at is describing what options are out there. You kind of think, oh, keep my teeth, keep my teeth, keep my teeth, and whenever that can't happen anymore, dentures come in as this dark, stormy cloud.
It's like, oh, it's really going downhill after that,
well,
right?
That's it. The crazy
yeah.
thing is here's the end of the line denture experience, and that's sort of not the whole story, to be honest. Dental implants have come along and allowed us to essentially create a 3rd set of teeth.
You have a fantastic wife. Let's talk about home life.
Oh, I spoiled her out. She's a marathon runner.
She's magic. She
She's
keeps it all going,
pharmacist.
right?
I don't have to study every single new medicine that comes out because she does that for me. And a lot of times we see some of these health histories that are maybe a bit more complex, patients on a number of different medicines. One phone call away, I get the expert in town. Certainly worked years and years in a local pharmacy, and I was impressed as an MUSC grad. Her classmates would call her and ask her questions. So it's kind of always, weren't they in the same room with you, learning the same stuff? So it is very fortunate to be married to one of the sharp cookies.
She is, I tell you.
And then running as a pastime, marathon runner. She's run the Boston Marathon.
Wow.
Wonderful mother of our 3 kids that are all born and raised here in Charleston, and just spoiled her out and on the home life side, that's for sure.
So what I noticed about you when we came to your office is your bedside manner. You know, I can tell that, and not only yours, but the people in the office. They were all so, I mean, it was crazy. There were so many, you know, it was hustle and bustle. Everyone's working and all this activity and stuff. But you just took so much time with your patients, and you actually do really care. I mean,
those changes, that fun. had a great time with even your staff, your cameraman, and the folks that came in with you. They got to share in some of those, what we call the delivery moments or the big reveal.
What I found amazing is the fact that I felt like they forgot we were there. And most people, when we put a camera around them, you know, they're like, I feel like they forgot it because you were explaining and they're looking into the mirror, and it was like they couldn't believe that that actually just happened.
Those cool moments of, and it's maybe some kind of humble beginnings. It might have been a bad experience in their distant past. When we get to erase all of that, my wife helps us there. It's obviously better living through pharmacology, and we have the ability in modern medicine that a patient can go to sleep through any of those aspects of dentistry that might be unsettling or worrisome. And if you can just sort of Mr. Sandman and dust the sand over your head and go straight to sleep and not have to remember any of the real dentistry and wake up with a beautiful new set of teeth, there's no better way in the modern era to get from beginning to end and that beautiful finish line a lot of patients dream about.
So I have to know, as far as like technology goes in your industry,
Yes.
is it pretty progressive? Like,
It is one of the most fastest moving aspects. Dentistry is so impressive to me in that. And now that medicine, cancer therapies, and things like that don't have a short and a long game, and certainly with the vaccine aspect, that's something that's been hugely impressive to me. But behind the scenes, dentistry is a part of almost this interesting dynamic of both the medicine and the independent research. Dentists can kind of go out and find what they like to be the very best. And for us, there's a number of different technology jumps. When you look at titanium is what we make any dental implant out of. But there's alloys that allow us to make them stronger and smaller and least invasive. So the only thing in the modern era I can think is getting bigger is my cell phone, but everything else is getting smaller. That's how our implants are. So we use mini dental implants in our office, which have shortened the healing time by 5 times fold. The price point has come down on these implants that we use that, in all honesty, as a patient, I kind of view my research of the dental field from a patient's point of view. Will it make their experience better? Will it make it faster? Less visits to the dental office because no one wants to sit in that dental chair any more time than they have to? And can it help from a price point standpoint be something that can be affordable to everyone? So when you can tie all those things together with some of these technological advances, really we kind of stuck the mini dental implant flag into beautiful little Charleston, South Carolina, and say, this is the flag we're gonna wave, and it literally solves all of those options we just listed.
what are you looking forward to most this year, 2021, as far as like, you know, personally and professionally? I know it's been a rough 2020, but what are you looking forward to?
Oh my goodness, from sort of that travel is probably the only aspect I missed. I do instruct and teach other dentists how to do our technique. So if that's a grade on 8 or an implant course that I'm giving, waiting to get sort of back, and it sounds odd to say it, it's one weekend out of the month or so that I might head out, but having that interaction as instructor to my student dentists, being able to help them along and sort of show them, pull back the curtain, if you will, and show them some of these little secrets, little tips, little points, and I see that light bulb go off with the teacher student, but I also get to enjoy it in the office with sort of the patient-doctor experience. So having more of those moments of both teaching, learning, and understanding is something with the travel side that I miss, and I happily get to bring on the good trips. My wife and kiddos come along.
So, but obviously you don't have a marathon planned this
I
year.
do not, but my wife has about 3. She's trying to make up for last year.
Wow, that's impressive. Well, thank you again so much for being with us today.
Thank you,
I really
Ashley.
appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
And for more information, of course, you can head online to smilemountp.com, or you can call 843-388-9690.